It was hard to me.
It is, isn't it? Is it or is it you? Sure? Shall we begin? So we were up today.
The entire compound.
We were robbed, and it's interesting how little things can happen, and next thing you know, everything has changed. But thankfully, nobody was hurt, and they made away with a couple of things. Not stuff that cannot be replaced, but thankfully, we're fine, and we're here. So welcome to the episode of Fix It, the Fix It podcast.
The Fix It podcast with your hosts, Cheryl, aka Somi, and Daniel, aka the big one. And as he always says, he doesn't know why they call him that.
Not the slightest idea.
Can't tell, can you? Yeah, sure you can't. Yeah. But yeah, we're back again. And we're back again. And we're back. No, naturally, now since don't play with me. You know me now, all the way from secondary school.
What was that name they used to call me as a dancer?
Baby Stace when I was in secondary school. You know, Baby Stace. Baby Stace. So yeah, that was me. I rapped, I lip synced and choreographed that one. So yeah, I've got it. And then in the university, I was in the generals.
Baby Stace.
Fun times. Yes. Oh, you're still on that one. What happened?
That's a really interesting kind of name we like to call ourselves when we were kids. I literally used to want to be known as Speedy Gonzalez.
Really?
Yeah.
Aww.
When I wanted to be a rapper.
Okay.
Yes, and I was heavily influenced by Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Makes sense. The name is making more sense as you say it. Yeah. Mine was just because I lip synced to Baby Stace from the track I Like It.
I like it. I don't like it. I really, really love this every moment. And then all went, oh, wow. Anyways, welcome back. So today we've decided that we're going to continue and wrap up on the topic we had the last time, which is
friendships to relationships. And the last episode, we kind of talked about how it works out, but we also let you know that it's okay if you are friends with someone and it doesn't really translate to that. And thank you to everybody who sent in their comments and their thoughts on it. And this week, what are we using to segue back into the conversation?
Okay, if I remember very, very well, we were talking about how not everything that you try out with a friend will work. Because a lot of us, we have this fairy tale idea that, because we heard the big one and Somi talk about friends turning into people in relationships and look at them, oh my God, they're so happy together, then definitely, by all means, it's going to happen. Disappointment.
Remember what he said in the last episode? Perception is key. Instinct is key. I wrapped it up nicely into one word: discern. If you don't have it, pray for it. It is a huge thing to have, not only when it comes to relationships, but also in life in general. So I hope you're on the path to discerning.
Oh, yes. Very, very important. And, when we were having a conversation last time out, I said, I was going to give some stories about how that happened with me.
Where discerning was not...
Discernment was not discerning me. It was not,
not
in line.
It was
not in sync. It was
up sync. Hey God, up sync. Wow. That's a new one.
Downward incline.
Stop it. We're not telling that story today. There's no such thing. It's a decline. Don't mind him. Anyway, so yes, the 7 busa that you received. Interesting thing about friendships and how you need to know when it's not the one that is going to transit or transcend into a relationship is when it's becoming associated with a certain zone. I can give you his stories.
So if it comes to the friend zone, pretty much a 9-time champion, I should have a shirt saying I belong to the zone.
You don't belong to the zone in Jesus' name. You have been delivered from the zone.
No, not anymore. I should.
No, you're supposed to have it. Not that you should right now. For what? Why are you having it now?
As a memorabilia of the time. Brand softening this guys.
Thank you. The memories is enough memorabilia. We don't need the T-shirt to say the T-shirt now is saying so good. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone is wondering where so good came from. You will find out in future. Receive knowledge in future. So let me just quickly tell you a couple of stories I had because of my mindset of definitely friend has to turn into relationship and all of that. So I started off being quite a shy individual, right? I could be very playful and all of that with my friends, but when it comes to intergender friendships, I literally got to a point in my life where even my cousins began to think I was gay.
Okay.
My female cousins used to think I was gay because I just didn't have female friends.
As at that time?
I was 15, 16 at the time.
Okay.
And all of them, most of their conversations, of course, we were kids. Oh, my boyfriend.
Naturally.
My girlfriend. That I never had those conversations to come up with.
Combo, your cousins were harsh though. At 15, 16, they're already thinking you were gay.
Yeah.
No, that's usually reserved for like early 20s, mid 20s.
One of them was Essie.
Yeah, essay is a whole kettle of fish altogether, so that makes sense. She just like to throw jabs at you. I love her. I love her.
Pieces. Essie, you're going to be watching this.
Love her too.
But, they had that thought that, I was this very, he doesn't want to mix up with girls and all of that. But then because I grew up around a lot of them, I just knew how to be with my sisters, be with my cousins. So my cousin Essie, I was living with them for a bit, for like about 6 or so months because I was out of school, I was trying to get admission abroad. So I was at their place because I was looking for a visa. And then my mom was like, you know what, I'm in Oshobo, you're in Lagos, just stay there and all of that. And she now tried to connect me with somebody on their streets. Just the same way you try to connect me with somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, moving on. What happened next?
Anyways, this has to be the final story. So this one happened just like if you remember the last story where I said I tried to be friends with somebody, right? By telling them first that I liked them.
Right.
So, funny stuff. So when my cousins came together, they gathered around me like, dude, you need to have a girlfriend. You're 19. You need to have a girlfriend. How can you be alone by this time of your life? Oh, there's this girl that lives down the street. They haven't shop down the street. Why don't you become friends with her? Like, why don't you have her as your girlfriend? In my mind, I was wondering, how do I do this? Yeah, this is what's that for Damas?
I mean, you were 19.
I was.
It was okay to think that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can't be speaking for young boys, but we have a 16-year-old who doesn't seem interested. And, because his mind is on a number of other things. By the time he's 19, he's still probably trying to work out some kind of awkward situation. So, yeah, I think it was perfectly normal for you to have been thinking that at the time.
Get ready for the comedy in this story.
Okay.
So I was at home in my cousin's house, right? When all of a sudden she just walked in and says, Chinwe is coming.
Just a girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, what for? So you're going to toast her today?
Said so.
Brethren, I would like to tell you that he who speaketh to you today with such eloquence and verbosity, when she came, my cousin goes, hey, so he wants to tell you something. And she left. And I was seated on this side. And she was seated on the other side. And I go, So I wanted to tell you that
you were signing her.
Yeah, I was
sign language
for close to 40 minutes. And she kept saying, I don't understand what you're saying. But she had a mischievous glint in her eye. And she's like, I don't understand what you're saying. Explain. And I'm like, me and you, like, no, literally, me and you, literally, like, I'm like, dude, talk to me. After like 40 plus minutes, I'm like, I want you to be my girlfriend. And then this thing you just did was what she did. Imagine you talking to a woman and the man looks at you and goes, oh.
so cute.
Yeah, they have
Not
lost
cute, so cute.
They have lost it. And she does the and then she goes, I have a boyfriend. And guess what your guy said? Thank God. My cousin wanted me to ask you out. I told her that I was not ready. I made this I ratted out on my cousin quicker than Tekashi 6ix9ine.
As in, remove yourself from the situation completely. Why don't you?
Yep. I did that, and she looked at me and she laughed and she said, "You're so cute." Yeah, she did say I was so cute, and for me it was like, oh, weight off my shoulder, and all of that, and that was where our friendship started.
Oh yeah, but that one not be basketball. I was expecting like a literal friend zone ceiling. You know, the kind of friend zone that goes through the roof, bursts through.
I'm getting there.
And okay,
I'm getting there.
okay.
That was my first experience of trying to ask a woman out. So I already had that trauma in it. So I became very good friends with this girl, and she introduced me to all her boyfriends, all of them. She introduced me to all of them.
How many were there? Okay, right.
Anyway, she introduced me to them.
Yeah.
And each of them had told me, take care of her. She talks highly about you. She's your friend. She's this, she's that.
Oh, I know where that's going.
Where do you think it's going?
Continue. But
So,
no.
she's your friend. She's this, she's that. I just know that progressively as we went along, we became really close. And then I remember one night when she acted out in a weird manner. I think it had to do with, I remember. So I had myself a video game shop where we began to play games at the time. And one day she just walks into the shop with this dude and she's feeling up on this guy and she's rubbing up on him and pecking him and all of that. I mean, I'm like, okay, you guys get a room. Do you understand? Yeah. And she does it. And then they step out at the door of my shop and she's still doing that thing. And next thing I see her pull away from him and then run. Right? And then she ran and I'm like, all right, man, cool, good. I closed my shop because typically what I would do is close shop. Then on my way to the house, which you remember my cousin's place, but that my mom said I should stay for a while. On my way, I would stop over at their place and buy some noodles, buy something to have as dinner because pretty much everybody's asleep. I don't want to stress people because I close really late, 10:30, 11 in the night. So I get to their shop and I'm trying to buy stuff and she is working extra vigorously. She's lifting things. Chick is lifting 2 crates of soft drink, 50 CL at once. I'm like, okay. Because if you see her, she's really smallish. As at the time. She's really smallish, really petite young lady. And she was picking up stuff and dropping it. And her cousin was looking at her and laughing. Like, psh. And I'm like, what happened? And then the cousin told me her boyfriend caught her.
What do you mean caught her?
So all of that time she was frolicking with the other guy in front of my shop. Her boyfriend was passing by and saw her.
I see.
Yes. So when I got to the shop and she was picking at me, and I was looking at her, and I started laughing when her cousin whispered to me, and I started laughing. And then she drops the crate, she looks at me, and she yanks me by the shirt and drags me outside. I said, I was trying to hurt you.
Our gender? Special. We are special.
We were 19. We were kids. I didn't know these games. Right? And she said she was trying to hurt me. And I was like, hurt me? Why? It is now that I'm speaking that I realize probably she was feeling me at that time. I don't know. But that was my introduction to it. Right? And so living there, the next place I found myself was in the university. And story number 2 pops up. Beautiful lady I see. She was a year ahead of me, right? I studied in my degree, human anatomy. And this chick was so fine. Because I deferred my admission, I was supposed to have been in her set. But I wasn't in her set. I was a set below. Now, on meeting this really gorgeous girl, I sort of kind of got her number and I can't remember how. I would see her on a regular day, say hi, gist with her, make her laugh and everything. Then go back to my room and construct the most beautiful poetry and send to her. Mind you, she didn't know I had her number.
I remember that story.
I told you that story, didn't
I
I?
remember the story. Yes.
She didn't even know I had her number. So I kept sending this girl poetry, such beautiful poetry. My roommates who were in the same course were her classmates. They knew what I was doing, right? But here's the funny thing that's going to make you laugh. I was sending her the messages. I was not having the liver to tell her that it was me. I was not asking her out. Do you understand? And this chick was falling in love with one of my roommates, thinking I was him. I was sending the message.
Because he was probably putting the moves on her.
No, he wasn't.
Okay, that's even weirder.
You've met him before.
Yes, I know, but
Yeah.
that's okay. I thought she used to think it was the one sending her the messages because he was feeling her.
No, he wasn't. She was feeling him. So you know that thing where you're hoping you like somebody, and then every good thing that happens, you're hoping that, for example, a call comes in, and you're hoping it's the person's call.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it was that way, right? And my friend would come back and tell me, dude, this girl is literally gathering her girls around her and reading these messages, and all of them are, fawning over it, and they're like, oh my God, and that she was, rubbing up to this my other guy. And for me, because of the kind of person I was, I said, brotherhood, I'm sorry. For me, it was a thing of, I was just happy that she was feeling my vibes.
Even though she didn't.
She was feeling my vibes. Until she found out like a year later, right, that it was me. And you could see the disappointment in her face. Like, serious disappointment.
You guys were friends?
Yes.
Or you were just, hello, hi, and that was it?
No, we had gotten past hello, hi.
Okay.
We used to have proper conversations.
Did she ever have conversations with you about this person?
Nope. She didn't.
Okay.
But the day she found out it was me, and I tried to make the move on her, and almost she blew me off like a trumpet.
Okay. So, these are clearly, I don't really know about the first story because that was more like your introduction into life. But this second story, clearly is a case of, okay, you guys are friends, and from the fact that during your friendship, there was nothing in the waters about you two getting together at any point in time, and seeing as her responses to your messages didn't even link her back to you in any way.
I didn't realize that was a red flag.
It was a clear indication that you shouldn't have even pushed it.
Exactly.
But you pushed it, brother. Brother pushed it.
Brother pushed it.
And the friend zoning was acute.
Phenomenal.
Acute.
So bad.
So remember we had asked you guys to share with us if you had any stories about why you think the friendships to relationships thing won't work. This is where you also get to do that. In case you haven't done that, you should do that. But really and truly, like I said the last time, I think it's ideal. If you don't think it's the ideal, then let us know why. What kind of situations set you up that make you think, okay, outside of being friends with this person, I can date this person? Or what kind of situations set you up that make you think, because this person has been my friend, then I cannot date this person? I also said I had a story to tell, so let me say this one real quick. My first relationship ever in the university was with this person. God rest his soul, he's late now. And we were absolutely the best of friends. Oh my God. He literally taught me my one, playing snooker is no advice, is it?
No, it's not.
What is it? Like a hobby?
Yes, hobby.
So the one thing, there are two things I love to do the most. Karaoke.
Don't talk to me.
No. I love you generally. When I say things I love to do, wait now.
She loves to do me.
That's not the conversation we're having. We're not this family friendly, so that's off the table.
You see that?
I'm married. I'm married to you.
It's automatically that has to do with me.
That's not the way you said it the first time.
That's how you interpreted it.
Let's fix it, shall we? Okay. So first person I ever got. Yeah, first person to ever. No, was the first person to ask? It wasn't the first person to ask me out, but it was the first person I ever dated. Right? We were best of friends, like absolutely the best friends. He was a year older than me in the university, but we were such a vibe together. We love to do everything together. We love to dance and all of that. And then my one hobby of the two things, well, it was so bad the way I went about it in university that people literally thought I was going to crash out of my first year in university. Because all they ever saw me do was shoot pool. That was all they ever saw me do. So he taught me how to shoot pool. So maybe I said then it was a vice. But yeah, it's one of my hobbies now. And so yeah, we would literally spend all our time after classes. Sometimes I skipped a few classes, God forgive me. But yeah, we'll literally spend our time after classes and talking from late afternoon all the way to middle of the night in the common room.
Okay, that was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah. So if you were looking for me, just I'm there, and he's most likely there as well. Yeah. So he taught me all of that, and we were friends. We were really good friends. And then this kind of thing that something's telling you just leave it there, just leave it there. Instinct, perception. You make mention of that, but they were like, no. I mean, we're so good as friends. We could only get better if we were dating. Yeah. So we started, he like asked me out proper, and we started, and it was a disaster. So here's one thing you should take as a cue in case you're in a friendship situation, like a really chill friendship, the kind that you don't want to lose, right? And something is telling you, maybe take it to the next level. One clue you should use to know that, yeah, let's probably dial it back to what it was before, is if you find yourself having to stop being friends so that you can then start being boyfriend and girlfriend.
Send me your account number.
You have it, baby.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Credit me. So that's the thing, because it should be a natural, seamless flow. You shouldn't have to stop being friends because you're trying to date each other. When you see that there is that shift, then you know that let's just leave it, keep it simple. Let's not go here, because that's what happened to us. We literally started trying to be what we weren't. In the bid to take it from friendship to relationship. Like we massive, we feel and we see and say, this thing is not pure. I don't think we dated for more than 3 months. And we're like, yo, let's leave it.
You know, this thing you just said reminds me of one of the relationships I had, the one I said I pressed in for 2 years.
Yeah.
When things became really, really toxic. When I say toxic, I mean toxic. I remember very vividly, we dated for 11 months, went on a break 3 times in those 11 months, based on the toxicity. I mean, it was a thing of the person
who always took the breaks.
She. The person traveled to someplace and then came back and was saying that they were concerned that when they left for 4 days, they didn't miss me. So does that mean that we should be together or not together? Those kind of little tiny things. And, I mean, I would also take the blame.
Yeah, because, someone come back and say that kind of thing to me. I take it to mean that you are really trying to tell me that you are not feeling me. And so if I was pressing in, I should unpress.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I take the blame for that. I also take the blame for that switch that you just mentioned, where I went from being her friend to wanting to be boyfriend and you're my girlfriend.
So you lived it and I lived it.
Yes.
Let's break it down. Let's keep it really, really, really simple so you can identify it when you see it. What was that for you? What did that look like for you? You trying to be boyfriend as opposed to being friends. What were the things you would say? What were the things you would do?
To be very honest, because of how long ago it was,
Yeah.
talking about almost 10 years ago, it was like I just expected things from her
that you didn't expect before.
I just expected things differently. So there are things I didn't communicate, and then I expected her to just get.
Because after all,
I'm your boyfriend now. And then in her own case, there were things that she expected of me, right? And she was quite vocal about them. But in her being vocal, she was not communicating. She was attacking. In the way she spoke about certain things, And me, I'll just be silent. I expect you to know I'm your boyfriend. You should do this. Andy, this was my first ever relationship.
So I had to backtrack on that one because in the previous episode you had talked about the different experiences that we had with people where you asked them out and they
said no.
Is it that they said no that you talk? Oh, it was the ones that said no. I thought it was the ones that you talked about, the ones that said yes as well.
There was the one.
Well, that was this one that you're talking about now.
That was the one who agreed to my pressing.
Man, you went through a lot.
Yeah, I did. And most of it self-inflicted. Because I had a very good friend of mine, shout out to you, Ngbede, who would tell me, bro, this, no. I'm like, but the Lord said.
Oh, you said the Lord said? He's there for my guide that you can for frauds.
To enter into relationship.
Okay.
Do you understand? But they would literally tell me, dude, the pink bubbles in your head are making us. I'm like, no, I pray to God about religion, Christianity can be quite harmful. Can be quite harmful if you do not really know this God we're speaking about. You know. However, leave all that long story. I expected her to just
no. I agree.
That doesn't work.
I agree because I think in my instance too, it was, that easy flow, that easy going. Or you just meet up with the person and then conversation leads to conversation, and you're just vibing to reduced communication, but heightened expectations.
Expectations changed.
Yes, heightened expectations beyond what it used to be before, but also reduced communication. Yeah. I think that was it. So yeah, again, how to know when you should let it go. That's let it go from trying to transit from friendship to relationship is when you see this dynamic play out and then you guys are trying to become what you were not before, as opposed to allowing what you were before just grow and just become the something beautiful without anybody feeling some type of way about it.
I think something else that you want to look at and, just let it go if you're headed in that direction is you find yourself wanting to mold them into an idea of them that you have. In as much as that is a relationship thing, when you find that you're in a friendship with somebody who you hope that you can come together with, if you find yourself, because these thoughts come unconsciously, thinking of how you can mold them into somebody you want them to be, right? You cannot make people into what you want them to be.
No, so
nobody wants to change.
So here's my thought about that, because people say that a lot, right? You can't expect the person to change. The person is who they are. Once you try to change them, you might show you this color and later they'll show you another color. I think, take you and I, for example, right? We were friends for the longest time. We knew a lot about each other, past, present, some about the future as well. We knew that. And around the time when you eventually asked me out and we agreed to date, we had to have conversations.
Yes.
And in those conversations, expectations were discussed.
Yes.
Right? And in those expectations, the truth is that there are some things that you probably hoped to see in me that were not there in me before. But it was on me to decide, okay, because we have decided to take this route, right? Maybe I can work on being a better person.
Yeah.
For you,
yeah.
Right? And vice versa. So what that is really and truly, if we were to lay it out bare, is you are consciously now with communication with this person, letting them know this picture that you have about them in your head and allowing them, with your help, of course, the time and the opportunity to blossom into this person. Problem, I think, that we usually have with those things is where there is no agreement. Where there is no agreement, if we're friends for as long as we were friends for and we knew as much as we knew about each other, there's certain things that we didn't like about each other as well. And so because there was open, honest, frank, laid out, bare conversation, be able to mention, this thing without necessarily attacking the person's, nature or character. And I was able to mention a few things as well. And to be honest, even while we're here, sat today, married, there are things about ourselves that we're still trying to, what's the word now? Work on. So I didn't want to say fix. This is the Fix It podcast, but I didn't want to say fix because sometimes with people that have that mindset of, okay, I'm trying to mold a person, what they've seen the person as is defective, as opposed to having a flaw here, they just literally consider you defective. And so their idea of molding you is most likely turning you all the way around. It's like it's a 360 makeover altogether. That is where there is a problem, because in knowing somebody and wanting to go the long haul with somebody, whether it's from relationship into marriage, is that you see them for who they are right now. You see the potential for what they can be in the future, and then you're able to work with them and grow with them on that path to making them better. However, if what you're seeing them as right now, you that is friends with somebody and you're thinking, okay, maybe I should date this person, and what you're seeing them as right now is defective, like all of them, it's just a problem and you want to turn it upside down, aka break you down and mold you into what I want you to be, then it's going to be a big problem there. It's going to be a big problem there. Because see, even if this person, you really had open, honest conversation with this person and broke it down and said, because this is the path that I see for myself in the future and I want to take you along with me, I'm going to have to remold you into the person that is right for me. Even if the person says yes at that point in time, because sometimes our eye used to be blind. We used to open our eyes very well and see, right? Because, we love the person, or you love the idea of the person. Even if you said yes right now, you're going to struggle every bit of the way, because what they're doing is refashioning you into an entirely different person from whom you've known yourself to be. So you want to be able to understand the differences between wanting to work with the person through their flaws and make the person to a better person, and just thinking that this is it's like you have what I call that. Okay, you see a phone, right? It's gone through some wear and tear, and it is this particular product of phone, and you want to break it down and recouple it into another brand of product completely. Even the phone said will correct with you.
The highest thing you can do is change the label. It's going to remain the other.
It's going to remain it. It's going to remain it. So you want to look out for that as well.
So,
okay. So how do you wrap this up?
I want to wrap it up.
What I'm saying, what else do you talk about?
So much. Jojo baby. So she had an angle that she wanted to follow through or go by.
No, we're not even going to go there.
And she doesn't even remember
I'll just leave her.
the degree of the angle.
That's why I was bad at math. I don't do those things. Yes.
Math or not, I love you, baby.
Yeah.
Ooh, your hair smells nice.
Thank you.
Ooh, peppermints.
Calibal.
No, I was really licking this.
It's human head we're licking. Nonsense. Okay, so
because of experiences, especially me, I don't know about her because,
but I shared one.
How many people were your friends that you dated or tried to date?
But that's the thing. After my first experience, I knew how not to push it. I figured that, look, there's a way you can be friends with someone and then you drop enough hints for them to know. And then I guess it was easier for me to also take that stance because I'm female, right? As opposed to you who's a guy who's expected to make the move. Yeah. So I'm female. So I guess a little bit of pride, a little bit of self-preservation in there. But I knew that, look, okay, after the first experience, not that the first experience directly ties into how you would then proceed, generally speaking, because this one we both mutually agreed to date. So long story short, my own is that I will let them know. And again, because I'm the female, I kind of like had the tendency to sit back and just wait. If the person catches on and they choose to make a move, fine. If they caught on and they didn't make a move, fine. So what then happened in my case was I would probably be the one friend zoning. I'll probably be the one friend zoning because maybe a couple of people step up to me and say, okay, I like you like this, and I like you like this, like that. And I'll be like, nah, us being friends and all. But trust me, I didn't have too many of those either. Cause I got married early.
For me, it was almost everything. It was almost everything. Yeah. It was almost everything. Almost everybody that I tried out with. But last, in having my experiences with all these other ladies, when it now became the case of you and I, it was always at the back of my head to just let things flow, right? In fact, the day when I ever asked you out, it wasn't planned. You and I know our story. It wasn't planned.
Yeah.
It was so spontaneous till tomorrow. She thinks I planned, asking her out for months, but it didn't happen.
So I had my suspicions. It's not like I think it for a fact. I just had my suspicions about it because Baba got game. Like even when he wasn't gaming, he was gaming. Yeah. So I know some of you are thinking right now, hello, skip, rewind. Did I hear you say you got married early? Yes.
All right.
I got married early. Remember the last episode, he talked about the peculiarities of our situation where he was the only child of a single mom and I was a single mother of an only child. So yes, I did get married early, talking way back 2008, and then was separated for the longest time before I eventually got divorced. So I went through my processes as well. But in this conversation, we were talking about friendships to relationships. My self-preservation mode didn't even have to show face post my marriage during my separation period because there is a certain stigma around single mothers and people who are stepping up to me, whether presenting some kind of face or I just knew that me personally, even with them presenting face, I just knew that nope, you're not here for the long haul. But we'll talk about that in subsequent episodes.
One episode somewhere, sure.
Yeah, subsequent episodes. So yes, I did get married early and went through a long period of separation before our friendship
began.
It then transcended into a relationship, and then we're here married as a couple. So you want to stay tuned, keep it locked, follow us in our next episode because we will be talking more. But this time around, we're done with friendships to relationships, right?
For the moment. Because one day somebody will ask a question. Yes, remember we said you could drop your comments and we're going to, pick up one day to answer those questions and then, probably properly wrap it up at that time.
Yep.
Or like she said, like, follow, subscribe,
share, advertise.
Send me money.
He's going to say that again and he was going to say that. Yes. So what he means by that is that you can be a part of the Fix It podcast. You just need to send us a message or an email and then we'll tell you how you can be a part of it as a sponsor or as a partner. But for now, we are saying...
Send me money.
That's what you are saying. Pizza.
Pizza? Are we eating pizza? Are we eating pizza? Girl, you didn't told me.